Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Good evening for some. Good morning for others. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Very early in Sydney. This is one of my favorite parts of these webinars. I get to see where everybody's tuning in from. It makes the world feel that much smaller from here in my home office in the greater Toronto area. Good stuff. Again, welcome to those joining us here. We're going to wait a few minutes just for some of those hopping in from meetings or finishing their breakfast, lunch, or dinner to get in front of a computer, get their headset going, and be ready to learn. Mexico, Cape Town, Port Moody. Good stuff. Okay, so just about 60 seconds or so, and we'll get this party started. How's that sound to everybody? All right. Good stuff. Welcome, everyone. Great to have you here. My name's Joe. I might be a new face for many of you. I'm a platform partner manager here at Gorgeous, and I'll be your host for today's session, the ultimate Shopify customer journey. While folks trickle in here, feel free to, as you've done, introduce yourself in the chat, share your name, where you're joining us from, and hey, maybe we can even get some favorite apps and tools list going in the chat there. That might be helpful for everybody. I think it's always a good way to get to know everybody who's in the room with us. And then we can get this party started. Good stuff. Thanks, everybody. Good. So again, my name's Joe at Gorgeous. My role is really all about building strong relationships with partners like the wonderful ones that we have here joining us today, especially Shopify, my role in particular. And really, the ultimate goal is to create more value for brands that we all serve. I've worked directly, with e-commerce brands and partners most of my career. Actually, I did a stint at Shopify and about a year or so here now at Gorgeous, and from firsthand experience and talking to many of you all, I know how tough and rewarding this journey can be, and that's why I'm really looking forward to today's discussion with you all. We've got a great, awesome lineup here: tech partners, service providers, and operators, and they'll be sharing real-world strategies with you on creating seamless, standout customer experiences on Shopify. This webinar, you may or may not know, this webinar is part of our DTCx series here at Gorgeous. It's if it's your first one, welcome. DTCx is actually where we bring together, merchants, partners, agencies from across the Shopify ecosystem to share really what's working right now in e-commerce, and we keep these conversations tactical, relevant, and most importantly, actionable. So, make sure you ask questions along the way. Use that chat that we're all using there, and comment, engage with our speakers, and share some of your takeaways. Good stuff. Let me quickly introduce you guys to some of today's speakers. As you can see, it's an expert lineup um, who joined us in the past, some new faces as well. It's an amazing group of partners who are all really contributing to this customer journey from all different angles. You'll hear from some of the folks or you'll hear from folks at Triple Whale, Corso, Retention.com, ShipBob, Concio, and of course, Gorgeous. Everyone on this slide has seen the behind the scenes of scaling e-commerce experiences, and I know that you're going to get a lot, or I hope that you're going to get a lot from their insights. Also, a little incentive to stay engaged here this afternoon or morning. We've got some great giveaways, and they're going to be happening courtesy of our partners. So we'll be picking winners throughout each speaker session based on chat activity and engagement. So stay active, ask questions, share your thoughts, and you might walk away with something from some of our favorite brands. And on top, great e-commerce strategies. So without further ado, I'd love to welcome our first speaker to the stage. Welcome, Krista.
Awesome. Hello. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks for joining us, Krista. Stage is yours.
Awesome. Should I share my own screen or so I can move the slides? There we go. Okay, cool. Let me just pull up my screen here and we will get started. So yes, I'm Krista. I'm a senior partner manager here at ShipBob. And today we're going to talk about how we're going to use a customer example throughout today's presentation to explain how ShipBob helps brands meet and beat customer expectations. Before we get into it, for those of you who are not familiar with ShipBob, we are a global supply chain and fulfillment technology platform used by many of your favorite brands to streamline supply chain operations and reduce fulfillment costs. We have over 60 warehouses globally and partner with over 100 retailers to help brands scale both direct to consumer and B2B sales channels from one singular fulfillment dashboard. Brands work with us in a couple different ways. You can either send your inventory to our warehouse network and leave fulfillment completely up to us, or you can use our warehouse management system in your own warehouse to operate on our technology. And some brands use a hybrid of both approaches. But that is ShipBob. And why we're here today, why does the customer experience matter? Here are some quick stats that tell us why in today's world the customer experience is so important. 86% of shoppers are willing to pay more for a great customer service experience. 88% of customers consider the experience as important as the product or service itself. And then 70% of purchase decisions depend on customer service quality. So I know for me personally, before I order from a brand for the first time, I always check out the reviews to understand the experience that others have had. And if it's not good, that's enough to deter me from placing an order. So let's chat about different ways you can leverage fulfillment to create an exceptional customer experience. And starting with providing fast and affordable delivery, that's going to be the number one thing. It's no longer a nice to have, but a requirement in order to stay competitive and capture those new customers. So many growing brands have had a similar story to the brand I'm going to talk about today. But you've built an amazing product, you launch, you either quickly go viral or your orders start to grow, and eventually you can't keep up with those orders on your own. Typically, we see brands start to fulfill everything in either their apartment, garage, office space, really wherever you can. And it eventually gets to a point where that's not sustainable anymore. And so that is what happened with Barefaced. That's what they were facing when they first launched in 2019. Their first product became a bestseller. They then created a loyalty program off of that, and they were growing really quickly from there. And they were fulfilling orders themselves out of their garage. So it became too much for them to handle on their own. And they needed to find a reliable partner that could store inventory and provide the tools that would help them manage overall operations. So they reached out to ShipBob and were able to offload operations so they could focus on what they do best, growing their business and their brand. So with ShipBob, Barefaced can provide fast and affordable delivery by placing inventory closer to their customers. So we take a look at order history, look at where their orders are going, so where are their customers located, and then place inventory strategically close to those areas. This distributed inventory model lowers your fulfillment costs because you're decreasing the distance that orders need to travel from the warehouse to the end consumer. You can see the difference in these two maps here. So the map on the top that is showing a warehouse location, only one in Southern California. And then map 2 is showing 3 different warehouse locations spread out across the country. So in map number 1, you can see they're shipping across all shipping zones. So zones 1 through 9, the shortest distance to the longest distance possible. Whereas in map 2, they're really only shipping through zones 1 through 5. So again, cutting down that shipping distance and costs. So on top of cutting down those costs and times, it also improves flexibility, which is really important as we head into peak season. What if there's either a snowstorm that shuts down your Chicago warehouse for a day, or with the recent tariff changes, maybe there's a port closure on the East Coast. You can't really control these things, and you still want to be able to ship out orders from your other fulfillment centers without disrupting the customer experience and not letting the customer know that there are any issues at hand. So lots of benefits to not just outsourcing your operations, but taking it a step further to distributing your inventory and doing so strategically by using your customer data. Moving on to my next tip. So creating a better customer experience with a connected tech stack. Barefaced leverages many of our integrations, including Recharge, Loop Returns, Gorgeous, Klaviyo, Triple Whale, even some of our partners on the call today. And this has just helped them create a better customer experience. Let's take a deeper look at their customer service tool, which is Gorgeous. So before they were integrated ShipBob with Gorgeous, there was a ton of manual back and forth between platforms, creating inefficiencies and just slow resolution times. And after plugging into our ShipBob Gorgeous integration, they can now create a replacement order from Gorgeous, which gets automatically updated in ShipBob. This cuts out unnecessary work and makes it a lot quicker to handle customer service questions and issues. They also have access to their chatbot right on the website, so you can easily go in and ask for an order update or tracking information. This pulls real-time order and fulfillment data from ShipBob so that their team doesn't have to go looking through tracking links or multiple spreadsheets or dashboards to find answers to fulfillment-related questions, which is a lot of the tickets that brands get. Their integration with Klaviyo or Attentive, depending on what you're using, also sends automated and proactive fulfillment updates to customers throughout the entire post-purchase experience. So from when the order's been placed to when it's delivered, the customer is never wondering what's going on with their order. And then, of course, we integrate with Triple Whale as well to display real-time fulfillment metrics in one place on the Triple Whale dashboard. So altogether, a tech stack that's connected to your 3PL creates the ultimate customer experience once you've placed that order. And as you scale, it's challenging to maintain a consistent branded unboxing experience, but these are becoming more and more important as we get deeper into social selling and affiliate marketing. But this drives ongoing loyalty and retention. It also builds brand awareness, and it's just an important differentiator that allows you to add a special touch to your last mile experience. Barefaced is a high-end product, and they have high standards when it comes to the type of experience they want customers to have with their brand. So in order to provide an elevated experience with every single order, they integrated their custom packaging into ShipBob's boxing algorithm. So This ensures that every parcel is packed in the appropriately sized box, just maximizes efficiency, and that each first time interaction with the customer is flawless. Customization also provides a great opportunity to tap into those affiliate marketing strategy and custom gift boxes. Affiliates are your Instagram or TikTok influencers who are telling their audience about your product, what it looks like, what it feels like, how it looks upon arrival. And so this unboxing experience is crucial for those affiliate partners and just the success of those affiliate partnerships. And it's really hard to execute on your own across different sales channels and fulfillment centers. So there's a lot you can do to customize within the supply chain. You can use gift notes, marketing inserts, branded packages, kitted or bundled products if you have a few hero products that sell together often. Really anything to leave your customer excited as they open their delivery in hopes that they'll return in the future. And then, along with custom packaging, subscription order fulfillment can be a huge pain point as well, especially for beauty brands. This is something that people are repetitively purchasing. So, for Barefaced, a large chunk of their orders are subscription orders. And subscription orders are almost impossible to manage manually. There's really no way to easily customize packaging for loyal subscribers or when maybe it's like their fifth order, you want to do a surprise and delight, add a special gift option in there. So without doing this, it just leads to missed chances to connect with your most engaged customers. So with ShipBob, they're able to put subscription fulfillment on autopilot. Their subscription orders are processed at midnight on the day that they're due to reoccur. And so by the time that customer is logging in, that order has already been shipped and is on its way. And they also started tagging their orders in the ShipBob dashboard based on which order it is within the subscription, starting with the first order all the way to the 10th order to be able to, again, customize the experience for those loyal customers and keep the subscription expectations up. So as a recap, Barefaced scaled without hiring a larger operations team by leveraging these fulfillment strategies, effortless order fulfillment, so automating processing and shipping subscriptions, eliminating that manual work and saving time, smart inventory management, so real-time tracking and forecasting to help prevent stockouts and keep fulfillment running smoothly while distributing inventory to multiple warehouses close to your customers to get that shipping time down and shipping costs down as well. Seamless tech integrations, again, leveraging ShipBob's integration with Gorgeous for customer service, TikTok Shop to reach new customers and new audiences, automating your SMS and email notifications, and then enhancing their customization with their custom packaging, marketing inserts to create that memorable unboxing experience. And that is all I have today. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My email is on the slide here. We are also giving new merchants $1,000 in free shipping credits, 90% off implementation, and 3 months of a branded truck wrap. So you can get your brand highlighted on one of our ShipBob trucks for a fun way to market together. Any other questions, feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Krista. That's a great presentation. I think like you were able to really simplify that, because I know like for me that was and still is like a topic that is hard to wrap your head around, shipping and fulfillment and logistics. And I think that's true for some of the people in the chat too. Like we did get some pretty good questions. Justin came in early when you, I think, had that picture of the map on, talking about, a single warehouse versus multiple. There are trade-offs for both situations.
Totally.
And his question just was around, I think the pros of using multiple spots. So maybe you could dive into that a little bit deeper while I get my slides up here.
Yeah, definitely. So you can definitely use a central location. A lot of our brands will start with a location in Texas and go from there. But based on where your customers are, so it's different for every brand. A lot of people are coast heavy. And so having a location on both coasts really does cut down those shipping times and costs. And we're able to offer 2-day shipping across the US because of having more than just that one location. And again, it does help with the flexibility of, God forbid, there's an issue with that one location, you can pivot and still get those orders out on time.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's relatively straightforward. Thanks so much for clarifying that, Krista.
Of course.
Awesome. And with that, because of the great question, we'd like to award our first winner, Justin Demos. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that
Awesome.
right. Thanks, Justin.
I believe it was an Our Place pan that we're giving away, but it could be. So that's exciting.
Good stuff. Awesome. Thanks, Krista. Now up next is yours truly, actually. I'm going to be taking some time here to talk to you guys about, Gorgeous and how we approach this conversation. I think obviously it's a super relevant topic, how to deliver a shopping experience that really feels personalized but fast and actually helpful without needing like a massive support team to do it. And so my plan is to walk you through 3 key ways to do just that, using tools that are live and available now, including a brand new one that we are actually really excited about. If you haven't heard noise that we've been making about it already, I'm excited to introduce it to you today. So let's take a step back. Why does the shopping experience matter? Similar question to what Krista mentioned earlier. Why does it matter, and why are you attending a whole webinar series dedicated to it? And the answer is really customers are expecting more and more than ever. According to some of the studies that we're familiar with, 42% of shoppers expect live help while they're browsing. 80% of support interactions in e-commerce are actually pre-sale in nature, not necessarily just the post-purchase help that they also do require. And 71% of the CX teams are actually being told to improve their performance without hiring any more people. So we're being asked to deliver high-touch services in a leaner way. And I think maybe you can get to where I'm going here. That's why brands that lead in customer experience grow their revenue up to 40% faster than their competitors. More on that in a bit. In Gorgeous, we're happy to be right in the middle of all this. We work with 16,000 brands to power more than 1 billion conversations and support 275 million unique shoppers in countries all over the world. And we've helped merchants scale from startup to enterprise and across that journey. The one consistent advantage is really being able to personalize and scale support at the same time. And so this next evolution of Gorgeous is all about helping you do that with automation and AI built specifically for e-com. In 2023, we were focused on simplifying support, and that was really helpful, and we got a lot of praise for that. We built a help desk that unified all your channels into one place. And then in 2024, we leveled up first with our AI agent, resolving up to 60% of your most common requests on the help side of things. And then now in 2025, we've really entered the conversational AI era or evolution. And that means Gorgeous doesn't just help you respond, it actually helps you sell. And so we understand your tech stack, your brand, your customer journey, and we're launching tools that actually guide your shoppers through every step of it. And so let's dive into the 3 most impactful ones. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to look at how to use Shopping Assistant to turn browsing or simple shopping into buying. And then we're going to look at how AI agent can instantly resolve customer questions and boost that loyalty to keep them coming back. And of course, 3, automation and how it can power a personal feeling experience really at scale. And so these 3 levers work together to create that VIP feel that your customers are craving, as we heard about some of those stats. So let's start with the newest release, Shopping Assistant. This tool actually lives on your storefront and it offers proactive help right when someone's about to buy. And so instead of waiting for a shopper to click into a chat or search for a frequently asked question, Shopping Assistant actually jumps in to offer tailored discounts, pre-sales guidance, um, recommendations on products, and educating. So, based on what that shopper's looking at, it can act like one of your smartest salespeople, available 24/7, helping shoppers move from, browsing to confidently checking out. And this has really already led to higher conversion rates with the customers that we see using it. Not only higher conversion rates, but reduced cart abandonment. And it's something that we're really, really proud of. And again, it's live now. So this is something that you can actually start using, start playing with, start training ahead of this busy BFCM period that's just around the corner, actually, surprisingly enough. I know it happens faster and faster every year. Now let's talk about AI Agent. This one you might be more familiar with. It's like the backbone of our support automation tool. It really takes care of some of the most common questions. Where's my order? What's your return policy? Do you have this in another size? And it handles those instantly without needing to loop in your support team at all. And so brands that are using it, again, you'll hear me quote this a number of times, but they're using it to resolve up to 45, 50% of their ticket volume. And that extra time is, time that your team gets back to focus on the VIP conversations, the higher value tickets, the wow me moments, and sales related chats. Empowering both of these features is, these features known as Shopping Assistant and AI Agent. It's our automation layer. Gorgias uses intent detection to understand what the shopper needs and then automatically routes it to the right response or macro. And that means even when your team is offline, your customers are still getting that fast, relevant answer that they expect. And some of these tools that they'll be using to do this is macros, tags, auto replies, and dynamic templates. It's like giving your CX team that jetpack per se. They can move faster, stay consistent, and deliver that better experience that, again, all the customers are expecting these days. So to recap, in order to deliver that VIP experience that we talked about early on, and we will continue to talk about, you need three things really working together. It's proactive on-site help with Shopping Assistant, it's instant resolutions with AI Agent, and it's smart automation that is able to personalize at scale. And so you don't need a bigger team. You just need the right tools firing in the background. And when you do that, your customer experience becomes a growth engine, not just a cost center as it previously was known as. So if this sparked some ideas, or you want to try Shopping Assistant on your site, feel free to scan the QR code here and we'll get you set up. Even if you're not sure where to start, reach out. We're happy to help. We'll prioritize quick wins for you, and we'll help you make sense of it all. So thanks again for spending this time with me, and thanks again for sticking around. There are more great ideas where this came from. Good stuff. Okay, so taking a look at the screen or the chat here, did we get any questions as I welcome the next speaker? Kyle, we will welcome you to the stage here as I take a brief moment to answer some of those questions, hopefully. And again, if I don't get to them all, we'll of course follow up too. All right. Thanks, Kyle. Sorry, I'm just taking a look at some of the questions here. Does AI Agent learn from Shopify, knowledge base, website content, combination of the two, or require manual training? I guess it's a combination of all three, actually. So Gorgias really has the deepest integration with Shopify that we're familiar with. And so, yes, it will use your Shopify data in order to help get that AI agent or that shopping assistant set up. But of course, it does require some guidance from you. And in fact, we do call it guidance. So it's that section in your gorgeous admin that you will provide the custom instructions, the tone of voice, your brand identity, maybe even some keywords that you choose to use instead of the common ones. So it's pretty customizable, and we've seen some brands do some cool stuff with it. One of those brands is actually Tushy, so you can check that out. They use some pretty cool guidance there as well. But enough about me. Let's talk about Kyle. Thanks,
Oh,
Kyle, for joining us.
thank you for the intro. Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
Good stuff. Stage is all yours, buddy.
Cool. All right, let me share the slides here. Yeah. Cool. So I'm going to be continuing along the same vein of what kind of Joe was talking about there with AI and BFCM and all of that. But I'll just start by introducing myself. I'm Kyle Standard from retention.com. I'm VP of Marketing and Partnerships. And retention.com is an identity resolution provider. So we help you identify anonymous traffic on your site, whether that's completely anonymous or returning customers that your current tech stack is not identifying, and helping you drive more revenue from those visitors. So talking about website visitors, I want to dive in a little bit on how AI is transforming the D2C experience. And what we saw in the 2024 holiday season last year is that AI influenced online sales in the US grew by nearly 4% year over year. Shopify reported 41 to 50% of online buyers are likely to use AI tools to research and decide on purchases. Now, when I saw these stats, I thought the way things have been every day just evolving in the AI space, I know that these numbers are going to be much, much higher this year. And that's really the premise of what we want to bring some awareness to, because 2025 compared to 2024 means a lot more AI bots on your site searching. We're seeing it with a lot of the brands that we work with. A higher percentage of traffic coming to the site is through AI chatbots. So the shopping experience is starting to shift from your site, your owned audience, and happening right within ChatGPT or whatever other tools that they're using. So what does this mean for your brand specifically? It's harder to get quality traffic to your site. Paid traffic becomes even more expensive and unpredictable. Increasing CAC and decline in conversion rates and repurchase rates, as well as just harder to retain customers. Because most importantly, it's really hard to build that one-to-one relationship if the person isn't coming to your website. And the best way I like to think about it is in person. If you just go to some random mall where they have a whole bunch of different products displayed, and you just kind of go look at random things here and there, you kind of ask someone to like maybe bring you out some different examples, and you kind of look at them in front of you and you go on your way, is just a night and day experience compared to walking into a store, getting that brand experience, and purchasing the way that the brand intended you to purchase and what they wanted you to go through when thinking and feeling about their products. And the website is the same way, it's the digital store. And so you really want to try to not only get as many great quality visitors to your website, but you also want to try to know as much about them as possible. And again, to Joe's point, you want to be able to provide a VIP experience. And the only way to do that is to know more about these visitors. And as time goes on and more of these chatbots are coming to the site rather than people themselves, it's going to be harder for you to capture that first party data. So really the time is now to start thinking about how can we learn more about the traffic that we're already driving to our site and help build our first party data and bolster ourselves for a more successful future. So on top of all of that, there's already a large abandonment problem, which we're always trying to be on top of. You can see some of the stats here, but the ones that stand out to me are, 30% of abandoners buy from a competitor. So you really want to try to go get in front of them before that happens. But the biggest one in the bottom right, most ESPs are only able to identify 15% of your returning customers, meaning the other 85% you aren't able to identify. So this is due to the 7-day cookie window with the drop off. And this is where our tools really come in to help, is to help you capture more of that 85%. so that you can learn more about them and know that, hey, this is a returning customer that's come to my site. They should get some special retargeting. They should get an SMS or an email that is different from just a traditional website visitor, or not being able to message them at all. So this is where we come in to help, is where we can help turn these one-time browsers into loyal customers. Again, they may have bought from you once in the past, even just 10 days ago. Their cookie is no longer tracking. You have no idea who they are. They come, they go. You can't send them an abandonment email, even though they're on your product pages looking at the products that they're thinking about buying. We're able to help you say, hey, this person actually just bought from you 10 days ago. Let's send them this product abandonment email and take them from that 85% and bump them into that hopefully increasing 15%. So what we're also helping do right now to combat this AI bot problem is helping filter out the bot activities and get real-time high intent buyers back into the ESP using our solutions. So again, that's sending more one-on-one real-time personalized emails and SMS for anonymous subscribers or abandoners, and endless retargeting opportunities, again, from email and SMS once we are able to identify them and get them back over to you. So what we want to do is really help brands this holiday season. And so we want to come out with our best offer we have ever had. And rather than locking you into like a year-long contract, we really just want to focus on these BFCM holiday season. And so if you're looking to identify some of this traffic on your site, grow your email list and drive more revenue for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we have this offer. Feel free to reach out after the fact. We just want to make sure that you're set up for success. It'll be just a 3-month term for October, November, December, and you can go on your way. Again, we want to help make sure that you have the best EFCM 2025 and that your biggest traffic months are just around the corner. So that's all I've got for you guys today.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kyle. Very informative. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a theme here for all of us so far, and I'm happy that we're all on the same page, but like providing just a different perspective and viewpoint on that theme of automation and AI that's so prevalent today. I'll take a look and find out who our winner is. It looks like it is Albert Simoniak. Albert, I apologize if I didn't pronounce your name properly, but congratulations on the prize, and thanks for your engagement.
Way to go, Albert. Thanks for engaging.
Good stuff.
Cool. Thanks,
awesome.
Joe.
Well, thanks again, Kyle. Up next, we will be bringing up Tamana. Tamana is a tech partner manager at Triple Whale. We are excited to have you here.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I'm going to pull up my slides and then I can get started.
Perfect. Stage is all yours. You look good. You're set. Yep.
Awesome. All right. Hey, everyone. It's so good to be here today. My name is Tamana Bawa, and I am one of the tech partner managers here at Triple Whale. And, I'm so excited to be here because we're talking about one of the biggest game changers in e-commerce right now. And I'm sure you guys all know what it is. Of course, it is AI. Now, specifically, today we're going to talk about how AI takes the guesswork out of your growth. So let's just dive right in and break it down. All right, so this is our agenda for today. First off, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about who Triple Whale is, just in case you're not familiar. Next, why do data-driven decisions matter? We're going to dive into AI's growing role in e-commerce. And finally, we've got a totally free tool for you to use and some free credits for you guys to get started. So let's jump right in. All right. So e-commerce brands today, they are drowning in data, but starving for insights that drive real action. And that's honestly where Triple Whale comes in. So Triple Whale is the e-commerce intelligence platform built for faster, more confident decisions. Now, most of the analytics platforms that you might be using, they might be telling you what's happening. But here at Triple Whale, we really differentiate ourselves because we help you understand why, and more importantly, what to do next, which is really the difference between, insights and intelligence. Now, at Triple Whale, we're not just another data tool. We're actually the go-to e-commerce intelligence platform for brands that are scaling really fast and need clarity in their decision-making. And we're actually the proud source of truth for over 40,000 plus innovative brands. And this includes well-known names like Calpak, MeUndies, Peloton, Culture Kings, and so many more. And we're not just working with brands, we're actually powering an entire ecosystem of e-commerce growth. So with 2,000 plus trusted agency partners and 65 plus deep tech integrations, we actually ensure our customers get the most out of their data, from marketing to profitability. And if you're wondering what that looks like in action, we actually have a full section of case studies on our website. I highly encourage you guys to go and check them out. All right, so e-commerce, it's not just growing, it's actually becoming more competitive, more expensive, and more complex than ever before. And if you're feeling that pain, I want to hear about it in the chat. For brands today, making data-driven decisions isn't optional. Honestly, it's survival. So when we look at the numbers, the challenge is so obvious. Ad costs, they just keep rising. Paid acquisition, it's getting more expensive every year. So squeezing profit margins and making profitability, and this is making profitability just so much harder to achieve. Now, competition, it's at an all-time high. More brands are fighting for the same customers, making it harder than ever to stand out. So in this environment, guesswork, it just won't cut it. Brands need clear, actionable insights to optimize their marketing. They need to optimize their pricing and their operations. And that's really where AI-powered analytics come in. And that's exactly what we are here to talk about today. Now, AI is no longer just a buzzword. It's transforming the way that brands operate. So from automating marketing tasks to optimizing inventory management, AI is empowering businesses to make smarter decisions faster. It's helped brands scale by unlocking insights from data, predicting trends, and streamlining operations, all of which lead to more efficient, profitable growth. Now let's dive into how AI is actually reshaping e-commerce and how you can harness it for your brand. All right, now e-commerce brands that adopt AI, they're the ones that are seeing the real measurable results. And there's really no surprise why. McKinsey reports that e-commerce businesses using AI can actually boost profitability by up to 25%. And it's not just about speed, it's actually about smarter data-driven decision-making. Now, AI analyzes massive amounts of data, providing insights that help brands optimize operations, predict trends, and then better understand your customer behavior. So in an industry where margins are so tight and competition is so fierce, even these small little efficiency gains can honestly be a game changer. And the right AI tools can make a world of a difference between scaling profitability or just getting left behind. So in today's competitive market, AI, it's not just a luxury anymore. It's actually essential for making smarter decisions and achieving long-term success. And AI fundamentally changes the way we work. So looking at customer experience, AI is stepping in to handle many of these manual, time-consuming tasks. So brands can actually focus on strategy instead of spreadsheets. And to keep up, businesses have turned to personalization. Now, we've seen brands leverage AI to deliver more tailored shopping experiences. So whether that's through product recommendations, targeted marketing, or even dynamic pricing, personalization, it's not just a trend, it's actually a necessity for engagement and retention. But here's the key: personalization is only as good as the data intelligence behind it. Now, AI allows brands to collect, analyze, and act on massive amounts of data in real time. So the more data AI has, the smarter it gets, enabling businesses to refine their strategies, predict customer needs, and overall just optimize performance across the board. And that's why AI isn't just an add-on, it's actually a game changer. So now we're going to dive deeper into how brands are using AI in these categories to drive real growth. Now, AI is making customer experience more efficient, responsive, and scalable. Chatbots provide instant answers, cutting wait times and support costs. AI predicts issues like delayed shipments and offers solutions before customers even ask. I mean, think back to the gorgeous presentation just before this. This is what they're implementing, and it's helping brands across the board. Now, it also provides frictionless shopping. So smarter search, voice commerce, and virtual try-ons make shopping easier than ever. But the result is actually happier customers, fewer support tickets, and higher conversions. So AI isn't just improving CX, it's actually transforming it. All right, now AI is no longer just for handling support tickets. It's actually becoming a real driver of revenue too. So, like I said, Gorgeous. Take Gorgeous for example. Their AI doesn't just respond to questions. It actually actively helps customers make buying decisions by offering real-time product guidance. And it's like having a sales associate available almost 24/7. So what's more is it tailors communication to each customer's needs. The AI creates personalized messaging that actually feels thoughtful and helpful, which builds trust and keeps people so engaged. And during the checkout process, it actually smooths everything out, answering common questions about shipping or product details instantly. And that really reduces that friction and keeps the sale moving. So, in short, this kind of AI turns customer support into a high converting, revenue generating engine. Now let's look at how AI-driven personalization boosts engagement and conversions. So smart recommendations show the right products at the right time. AI-driven emails and SMS reach customers when they're most likely to buy. And personalized discounts tailor pricing based on behavior. Now the result of all of this is better experiences and overall, as because you guys are all here, it's for more sales. Now, this is where the real power of AI comes into play. So, moving from basic personalization to true individualization. Starting with personalized upsells and cross sells, AI can actually dynamically recommend add ons and bundles based on a customer's behavior, past purchases, and even what's in their cart at the moment. So, you're not just suggesting popular items, you're actually offering exactly what that person is most likely to say yes to in real time. Next, we have the AI-driven shopping experience. Smart widgets and real-time product carousels adapt based on how each person shops. So someone looking for gifts gets a totally different layout than a loyal customer restocking their favorite items. So it's a personalized journey that actually keeps people engaged longer and spending more. And finally, optimize checkout flow. So AI removes friction at the most critical step, making the checkout experience faster, clearer, and more relevant. So whether it's helping with shipping options, discount codes, or even product recommendations right before their purchase, AI actually turns hesitation into conversion. And this level of customization, it's not just impressive, it's profitable. And here at Triple Whale, we actually just built Moby to make data-driven decisions fast and easy. So Moby agents are the first AI agents purpose-built to boost your brand's customer acquisition, conversion, and retention, and business operations. So these agents work around the clock to uncover what's working, what's not, and ultimately what to do next. Now, Moby Agent is your AI data scientist to help answer any questions, create reports, build forecasts, and so much more. So instead of digging through your reports, you can actually just ask Moby, what was my ROAS last week? How did my Black Friday campaigns perform? What's my highest converting product? And you will get instant answers with no more dashboard diving and actionable insights because Moby turns data into decisions in just seconds. So with Moby, you don't just track data, you use it to grow. And instead of spending 10 minutes searching for an answer, Moby actually just tells you in seconds so you can move fast and make better decisions. So as our co-founder, AJ says, AI is evolving from a tool to a true business co-pilot, helping brands analyze more data than ever before for deeper, smarter decisions. Fast, useful, and context aware. This is the AI that actually understands your business. Now, quick example here. Dixon's lead marketing team used to spend hours upon hours each week analyzing ad performance with limited customer insight and inaccurate attribution data until Triple Whale and Moby agents automated that entire process. So now what took hours happens in under 10 minutes, which is saving them 260 plus hours per year, which if you break that down, that's almost 1 hour per working day. Think about what you can do with that much time. Now, Dixon also 3 times their ROI within just 3 months of implementing Triple Whale and adding over 500,000K of incremental revenue using our Sonar Send feature. So AI isn't just saving time, it's honestly optimizing growth. So after today, I think we can all agree that AI is the future of e-commerce. And here are some of the key takeaways as a refresher. AI, it's driving growth. Insights aren't enough. Brands need AI that actually turns data into action fast. And automation, that's what's next. Mobi agents don't just analyze data, they actually take action to help you scale. So the fastest moving brands, they're the ones who are going to win. So before AI can drive action, you need a strong data foundation, which is exactly why we are giving you access to this free dashboard to help you track key metrics and make smarter decisions. Now I'm going to drop the link in the chat along with my email and LinkedIn. Please feel free to reach out with any questions you have. Thank you guys so much for joining today, and I look forward to staying in touch.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tamina. That was great. I looked up a couple times and I was like, oh wow, maybe she should just be presenting the gorgeous part for me next time. I recognize some of those slides and screenshots. So thank you so much for that. But I'm pretty excited about the Mobi AI Mobi agent. You said report diving, dashboard diving, like I remember working at Shopify and going into the admin and looking at some of those reports. And obviously, reports are in most apps these days. But yeah, just to be able to say, hey, please make sense of this for me. And also, what should I be presenting at my next, team update? I think that's really the future. So really exciting stuff. Thanks.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Our pleasure. Awesome. And so we won't forget about the winner. We have a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of Triple Whale, and that's going out to Karen Au. Karen Au. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Good stuff. Awesome. All right. And on we go to our next speaker. From Concio, we have Philippe Waro. Philippe, welcome.
Awesome. Hey, Joe.
Hello. Welcome to the stage.
Perfect pronunciation, by the way. So it must be the Italian, the Latin connection in the back there.
Un petit peu. Awesome. Good stuff, Philippe. The stage is yours, sir.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Let me fire this off. All right. Window here. Great. Yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I'll take some seconds at the end to answer some questions, but today we're going back to the real fundamental aspects of commerce. And we'll talk about three steps to adding 7% more GMV to your store with outbound phone calls. So everybody has done a lot of emailing, SMS, but for some reason, very few stores up to now have done outbound calls, and the ones that are doing it right now are sprinting ahead. And you've probably wondered, like, what is phone sales for commerce, really how it works. But at the core, it's super simple. It's about calling your top segments at the best moment with hyper-personalized content to help them in their decision-making process. And there's a lot of use cases for why your team should pick up the phone and talk to your customers proactively. The first reason why this should happen is because you are sitting on a mountain, a gold mountain of data. You're collecting, if you have like a two-step pop-up where first you collect the email, then you collect the SMS opt-in. If you have that in place, you collect about 5% of your visitors' phone number. And the main ways to collect those phone numbers obviously are that pop-up, but also the checkout, right? And really the only thing that you're doing so far with those phone numbers is potentially like an SMS once a month with a 25% off because it's Mother's Day, it's Black Friday, whatever day it is. It's a very tired strategy at this point. And there's more that you can get out of those phone numbers. If you're looking at the e-commerce landscape, you'll have seen a lot of the different different companies here. So email is crowded. SMS, there's 10 ways to send SMS. Direct mail had a huge surge in popularity over the last couple of years, and for some reason, there's very few people actually calling their customers, and we're here to help create those engagement easier for you guys. The first step out of 3 to add that GMV on top of your store is really to define your top segments. First, every store will start with abandoned checkout. Usually you have almost as many abandoned checkout as you have orders coming through your store. So like the drop rate there is about 50%, and most of them will have opted it already with their phone number in the checkout. So that's like almost every order. For every order that gets through on your store, one checkout gets abandoned, and that's somebody that's going to shop on another site that has like second thoughts, or that needs more information, or that made just simply a mistake adding the wrong item and doesn't know how to change their cart. The second step of segments would be abandoned carts. There's a difference between the checkout, when people actually add their shipping information, and the cart. So you can get more top of funnel with the different segments on cart. Then if you have a subscription business, calling your failed payments. So like every business is going to call you, like if you have a gym membership and your credit card is declined, they're going to call you. But for some reason, very few subscription businesses call their customers when they have a failed, like maybe several failed payment, and they're arriving toward the end of their dunning sequence. So that's like a great use case, and with the right offer there, you will save a lot of your subscribers. And one thing that we've seen work really well recently on the post-purchase upsell here in level 3 is we have a couple of stores, including like a paintball equipment store. So every time an order goes through, the customers acquire more loyalty points, right? But nobody knows how to use the loyalty points or what they are worth. So now they started calling everybody right after an order, tell them, hey, you have 200 points, it's worth $30 of free stuff. Here's how to redeem it. Do you want me to send you an email with how to do that? And obviously everybody says yes, send an email. And they have actually over 10% of the people that just purchase again within 7 days when they receive a call telling them about their loyalty points. And finally, I'll just mention briefly, like there's tons of wholesale use cases around, like when you get a wholesale or like a partnership potential request, or like a wholesale account purchased a couple of times in the past but didn't purchase in the last 6 months. Like you should be calling those people, ask them how they're doing, how's their business, and make sure that you stay top of mind. The second step to adding this GMV is really creating, like, since you already defined your segments, then it's about defining script for each segments. And like a great script is actually pretty simple. It's only 3 components. It starts with an opener, then it has a couple of objection handlers, and then it has a great offer to close at the end. And really a good opener here is going to be, you always need to state, and that's by law, you need to state your name, full name, and which company that you're calling from, and if you're calling on a recorded line or not. It doesn't need to be a pre-recorded message. Just need to say something like, hey, this is Phil from Concierge on a recorded line, how are you doing today? And then you're just like stating that you said they were interested in the product, but also that other clients you're talking to have a lot of questions before ordering, and so on. And then like if they have a pricing questions or so on, like you need to acknowledge that, and then like maybe you can like find like an offer and make sure that they can leverage that offer, right? And then at the end, if they mention that this is an interest, you can try to create more trust by being, okay, again, this is Phil from this company, write down our customer service number if there's anything here, and then like how would you like to proceed to completing your order today? Like maybe you can assist them directly on the call, or you can follow up by email or SMS after that if it works better for them. So it's pretty simple to build good scripts, and it works every time. The third step to building call campaigns that work well is defining really the configuration criteria for those. will need to try, like depending on the value of your clients, you will need to try to call the numbers more than one time. You might hit between 15 and 22, 25% connect rate on the first call, depending on the sequence. But if you try up to 3 times, you can go in the 35% connect on your total lead list. Then, like obviously, afternoon time zones will work better. So you want to make sure that you're adjusting your campaigns for the time zone of the recipient. So there's a few mechanisms to do that. We do it by analyzing, we match the area code with the time zone. And then you will want to drop voicemails that are really dependent on the sequence and the campaign. We help do that automatically. One of the, like how it works on the voicemail drop specifically, that's pretty interesting to make you save a lot of time. So if you are calling an abandoned cart or an abandoned checkout, so you pre-record a voicemail that is specific to the abandoned checkout campaign, that's just going to go like, yeah, like, so you were interested, I'm here like to help you if there was any outstanding questions, and we also have a great offer we wanted to communicate with you, give us a call back, my team is here to help, right? Something like this. But if you call a wholesale account, it's going to be different, right? And with Concio or maybe some other tools, you're able to drop the voicemail automatically. So as soon as you hear like a voicemail greeting, you click a button, drop voicemail. In the back end, the software listens for the beep. After the beep comes, we drop the right voicemail for that campaign, for that step in the campaign, right? So you're going to get contextual content in those campaigns. And what's great about voicemails compared to SMS is that they get all of the big screens now, where a lot of SMS are filtered and going straight to a spam folder. And then you will get the transcript most of the time. And then also you get the voice file that like can provide like a rich medium. We have some a lot of customers, they record from the CEO, obviously, but we even have some influencer voicemail campaigns that are pretty good. And finally, people can just one click on the voicemail to call back the number, right? So, and this creates inbound calls back in the platform, and that really helps their team achieve their goal, because usually an inbound call is warmer than an outbound call, so they purchase at a higher rate. You need to staff and incentivize your team. What you can expect in general? You can expect a good team member that does those calls to do about 200 calls per day and consume about like, or talk on the phone like about 2,500 minutes per month. And then you define, like depending on budget and like the skill set that you're looking, how you want them onshore, nearshore, or offshore. For us, we manage a lot of team members that are in South Africa and El Salvador, now in Brazil, and obviously in the Philippines. And just in incentivizing the team members, just last week we had the first agent on Concio that closed $84,000 in phone sales in a period of 1 month. So that puts him on track to close $1 million of phone sales. And he's selling like wood panels for like soundproofing rooms and so on. So the average order value is a little bit higher. But yeah, he's on track to make $1 million in phone sales for an e-commerce store. So that happened a couple of days ago, 6 days actually. I took the screenshot a little bit earlier. So we're really excited to like promote and shout out like people that are really crushing it and moving the needles for stores. What's the lift, right, on this playbook for stores? So it's really the difference for us. Like what we say is like, hey, voicemails are great. They create a lot of inbound callbacks, but if they can convert, they might be converting from also like an SMS or an email, right? That's in your sequence. But the difference between the connected call conversion rate and the voicemail conversion rate, that's the lift that calling your customers provide. So for example, here's like a low-cost jewelry store. Like these guys, like calling checkouts, they convert at 20% when they call a checkout. But if they don't call them, or if they don't pick up the phone, then it only converts at 6%. So that difference is really the lift. And same thing here, like a survival box, like Battle Box. This is their little screenshot here. They call their churned subscribers exactly after 120 days after their last order. When they get them on the phone, they reactivate at 16%. of the time. So, and if they don't get them on the phone, well, then it obviously doesn't reactivate. So like huge lift for those brands when they talk to someone versus not talking to them. Same thing, Polysleep launched Concio during Black Friday last year. In their first 5 days, they did $15,000 in sales. Again, higher average order value here. It's like about $1,000. So it definitely, for them, it was like a no-brainer. And yeah, just to wrap it all up, what you can expect when you launch like outbound calls is about 25% of your calls to connect. And then depending on your segments or on your product and how well your brand is known, you'll convert about 10% of those sales into an order, and then that can lift like your total GMV like by up to 6 to 8%. And the last thing on which I will leave you all today is like, I know you're thinking like, but my customers don't want that. Like, who wants to get called because like they didn't complete an order? But actually, like overwhelmingly, and this is a gorgeous screenshot. Overwhelmingly, like customers are really impressed when you outreach positively and in a non-salesy manner, but more like in a way to help, and that's like customer oriented. And they're really shouting out the businesses, and they appreciate that, and they will write back into your customer service team to share their experience. If there's anything, don't hesitate to write me. I'll drop my little credentials here in the chat.
Awesome. That is so cool, Philip. I think it's like, I mean, obviously you've uncovered something like on a macro level, rather simple, but we've, as a society, have kind of ignored for a while. The chat was hot with questions and curiosity. I think you were able to answer a couple of them.
Percentage. I have a couple. I'll quick fire them. Percentage of people that stay on the phone long enough to convert. I don't have that exact data, but the average call length of a call that converts is 3 minutes 50 seconds. So like the longer you get them you keep them on the phone, obviously, the more likely they will convert. And like we're putting mechanism to help with that. The percentage of customers that take the call, this is hyper dependent on the campaign, the segment, and the store. But like if you have like really low cost fast fashion or something like this, you can expect about 10%. If you have like more targeted, and which like can still be quite profitable, but if you have like a little bit more like B2B or a little bit more high AOV type like motions, there you can have like 25-30% of call connect rate. So I think that was mostly that for the questions.
Yeah, there was one more question that I was actually curious about, because I'm not sure if you double clicked on this, but Dana had a question around, are the reps dedicated to particular brands? And so I think that touches on a wider conversation. The reps that are calling, these are employees of the actual brands, or do you provide like a BPO type service?
That's a great question. And actually, so we started and we're like ex-Gorgeouses that started that. So my partner was the first engineer at Gorgeous. I was the first go-to-market there for 5 years. So we're really coming at it from the customer service angle. And like we wanted to build a software company first, and put the software in the hands of the brands. And but actually everybody was asking for reps. So we started also staffing reps, and I would say about 60% of the brands that we work with, like we staff the reps for, and we have reps in El Salvador, South Africa, Philippines, and so on. And the reps are all working for one brand, max 2. But we can do part-time. But a lot of customers use their own team members to do that, and even like often start with the CEO. The CEO is like, hey, I want to talk to my customers, see what they say. They'll start like cranking a couple of calls, and then for the lower AOV, I would say like we just launched a $50 like last week. No, sorry, not last week. 2 days ago, we launched a $50 flip-flop brand called Pillow Slides. And right now, the conversion rate on this, like on calling their checkout and when they pick up the phone, it's about 25%. They have like thousands of leads on checkout. And for them, it only makes sense because the conversion rate is so high. It's like little things. It's like, oh, I didn't find the color that I was looking for. I was not sure of sizings. And then like the agents are just like helping close those. So, but realistically under $75, it's a little bit tricky. Over $100, it's profitable every time.
So cool. Okay, yeah, there's actually some more in here that we maybe can get to some quick answers around.
Emotional, yeah, I mean, emotional is always the best, right? That's yeah. If you have something that's like more scientific or that really like requires some attachment, yeah, that's great.
Yep, and then time of day. I think you said between like 3 to 7 local time.
Yeah, 3 to 7 in the afternoon, but like B2B and more higher AOV, no difference. Like more impulse buy, like lower AOV, I would say like in the afternoon. But what we can help is we actually focus the campaign on certain time zones. So you can do 3 to 7, but actually that would last like 7 hours of calling, because like you can like do east to west or even Hawaii time. So like we can just make sure that you're always calling within the time zone, and so you can be calling all day if you have enough leads.
Really cool stuff. All
And
right.
yes, Kyle, boomers, like any like older demo is just crushing.
Good stuff. All right, Philip, thank you so much. We have a winner for your segment today, and that is Tyler Murray. Thanks, Tyler, and congratulations. You won a $75 gift card to Mint and Lily. Good stuff. Okay, and so we will move on along here. Great stuff. Our last and final speaker for today is from Corso, and that is Paul Bartholomew, co-founder. Welcome, Paul.
What's up, everyone? Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Sweet. Too loud.
No, great.
Sweet. Well, I'm super excited to be here. Candidly, I mean, there's been a ton of value that's been given here and some of the top partners in this space, and it's awesome to rub shoulders with you all, and I'm hopeful that this is valuable. A little bit about me, co-founder over here at Corso. I help on the GTM side and have a pretty robust background in e-commerce. I've been in this space long enough that I remember the first Klaviyo logo, very teeny. And I think Philippe and I actually have spoken quite a bit at his early days at Gorgeous. And so pretty cool to be here. But yeah, today, super excited to talk about the customer journey and some of the elements that I think a lot of brands are sleeping on that could be growth levers. I think this has been communicated pretty clearly today, but let's just be real. Brands are facing probably the craziest times now more than ever. Brands are really prioritizing profitability, making sure that their unit economics are dialed. I think it's do more with less. I think you've heard that. And it's just a common theme across the board. Every customer that we talk to, every brand that we're meeting with, is like, hey, I need to do more, but I'm not going to be able to add headcount, etc. The other thing that we always hear is like, I'm too bloated on the tech stack side. I need to consolidate. Is there a way for me to make my theme less busy, increase my site traffic, increase my site speed? And so being able to eliminate some of those themes or some of those apps that are floating around and be able to consolidate, it helps your theme go faster, your site go faster. But not only that, you can help to save some costs in terms of the software that you're using. And then lastly, let's just be real. Customers are demanding that Amazon level experience. And if you are a Shopify brand, it can be difficult to provide that, the bottom line, right? So with us at Corso, we're really trying to help brands to tackle some of these elements and make it a seamless experience across the board. What I think I've seen being in the e-commerce space for a long time, growth, acquisition, ad spend, those are all hot topics. That's what everyone's talking about on X. And then sometimes the post-purchase gets slept on a little bit, the operations folks, and those behind the scenes. And so what I'm starting to see, and what we're starting to see at Corso, is those top 1% of the brands that are on the Shopify ecosystem and across the board, they can really turn that post-purchase experience into a brand experience, right? Make it a loyalty machine. And so I kind of want to talk through each component that I feel like are touch points and things that I see in terms of the post-purchase experience that brands might be overlooking. And this is the post-purchase reality in today's world, right? So you're looking at order confirmation, you're looking at, tracking, you're looking at a couple of different components after that order's been shipped and after that buy now. So I think, when I look at this flow, you really have to identify each component. Do you have a meaningful experience on each of these components? Have you thought about it? And so these are different things that I'm going to discuss today that I think brands ultimately can leverage as a growth lever and a loyalty lever. We'll start with tracking. Every one of us has bought something, right? And you're obsessively clicking that tracking link, right? You get your order confirmation. And I will say that a lot of brands still to this day are just populating the carrier link, right? So you purchase your order, you go to your tracking link, and it's just a generic USPS. I can tell everyone right now, USPS does not care about design or brand. Bless them, we love them, but that's not their top priority. And I think that brands really have an opportunity to elevate this experience by using their own unique and hosted tracking page. So at Corso, we ultimately help brands to get this done with our tracking experience. And so brands can take their Shopify theme, be able to drop in an app block and customize a tracking experience that really is world-class, right? You can be able to add rebuy, you can have product recommendations, you can have reviews, you can make anything you want on this tracking page, and it is not a third-party hosted domain. So you're able to leverage that traffic. Your growth team is going to be really excited about that, and you can really take that tracking experience up. And apart from that as well, we also integrate with Klaviyo. So as being able to elevate the post-purchase experience, let's say there's delays or you just want to keep that customer updated via Klaviyo emails and branded experience emails, you can do that with Corso, being able to leverage the integration. We found that customers really are responding well to this, and the engagement on those emails is very strong. This is a good one. Carrier issues. So you see on the left, this is an actual picture. My family member sent me this, screenshotted it, and was like, Paul, this is something I like, is this something you fixed? I'm like, yes. So I think ultimately when something goes wrong in the carrier process, brands really are faced with like one or two options. It's, I'm going to eat the cost of this and I'm going to try to make the customer happy. Or they're saying, sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I got to push you off to the carrier. And I don't know if anyone has had that experience happen before, where you have to go and try and fight with the carrier to get your claim back, but it's a very timely process. And the statistics is about 30% of the time you're able to get your money back or some kind of help from the carrier. And so with Corso, and a lot of brands are really leaning towards offering like a concierge or a product protection offering at their checkout. And I've got an example here that I think is really interesting. We work with Caraway Home, top Shopify brand. We love them. Shout out to Nancy. They leverage our experience, and I thought there was something that was really interesting about what they did. They wanted to check and see what the customer response was to this package protection, and they ran an A/B test. And this was, we did not know this at Corso, and being able to leverage that data and look at it has been really surprising for me and just exciting for brands across the board. When they ran this A/B test, they ran their cart with Corso and without Corso, and they found that when they ran the A/B test with Corso, their overall conversion increased 2.63%, and that equated to about 5% in additional revenue per customer. This is wild because this not only helps you drive more revenue, but it also helps you to provide a better customer experience. So when you shift, you think about that tracking experience that you've got that I showed you, branded, being able to do that, your customers incessantly clicking their tracking. They want to know what's going on. They're clicking it 3 to 5 times throughout the shipment process. And if that package does not arrive, they want help. They want immediate help, as I mentioned, that demand that customers are doing right now. And so ultimately, you have the ability to offer an experience, a concierge experience right within your tracking page, where they can click to get help with the shipping issue. And through a couple of different clicks, they're able to kick off a concierge experience that ultimately is run by the Corso team, which is world class. So at Corso, as part of that package protection, we help cover lost, stolen, damaged, anything that could go wrong in transit. We've seen it all. Bugs eating packages, melted packages, all the things. But also origin scan, right? So origin scan, your 3PL might not scan in their packages in USPS. And when your customer gets that tracking page on the beautiful USPS tracking experience and it says stalled out, they're going to get frustrated. And so they reach out. And so this is one of the things that we were able to cover. And we do this through our world-class team in terms of the experience. So at Corso, we hire US-based folks that have D2C experience. Our COO comes from a brand that was doing 120,000 ships a month, and he was able to ultimately come over to Corso and help to streamline our experience. We run our concierge team like we would a brand. We also have our director of CX, Molly Mates, and she's fantastic. And she came from a brand that actually used Corso prior, and we've just been able to really elevate this concierge experience. And you can see we're able to provide a 1-hour response time. So when your customers have that issue, we're able to reach out very, very quickly, most times faster than the brand can. And your CX team can really focus on the problems that are maybe questions with product, maybe a real issue, something around, not shipping issues, and you're able to outsource that and ultimately provide that world-class experience. Getting through and kind of going a little bit further, obviously you want that returns and exchanges experience to be world-class. And what we found is being able to really combine everything into one experience makes it more simple for the customer to get that help, right? And so with Corso on the returns and exchanges side, we have a very seamless flow. You can really prioritize an exchange versus a return. It's fully automated, or you can manually be able to review each and every return request that comes through. And what I think is one of the best experiences, I don't own a printer. That's the millennial in me. But when I have to go and return or exchange something, obviously I'm not going to be able to print a label. We have the ability to offer a QR code to just have your customers go down to the carrier, drop off their package, and ultimately the shipping is all taken care of. We also can facilitate the label, right? Automatically. You can be able to generate labels out of Corso, make it seamless. If you want the customer to pay for the label on the return, you can. If you don't, cool. We can automate all of that. And you also can offer free returns with our experience. This is my favorite part of the presentation. If you haven't listened to anything yet, this is the one that I feel like you should. I think case in point, or a case study that I think is really fascinating, is Lululemon and the concept around product promise, right? I think this is a fun marketing take on the term warranty, but a lot of brands are really leaning into this, right? So when you think about product promise with Lululemon, it's like, hey, we back our product, right? We're going to back it. If anything goes wrong with that product throughout the lifetime of the product, you can go ahead and reach back out to us and we're going to make it right. This is a massive loyalty lever that I think brands really aren't using, or if they do have a lifetime warranty or a 2-year, 3-year warranty, especially with hard goods, the process to get help on that is a nightmare. I talked to one of the top outdoor brands in our space, and she had mentioned to me that they were still essentially trying to capture information from customers with mailers and sending it back snail mail. And then they would go and manually enter that information in to a spreadsheet. And when the customer would reach out to get help with the warranty or the product promise, it was just a very disjointed experience. And so with Corso, we really want to make the warranty and product promise experience very seamless, very, very much like it would be a return or exchange, but its own unique and dedicated experience because they're very different. And so with Corso, we ultimately help you to get off of spreadsheets and type forms and different things and be able to keep that consistent with your brand experience on the post-purchase side. This builds massive trust. It streamlines data, and it ultimately helps you to be able to back your product. Now, going back to the mailer component, right? So the majority of brands that we're talking to on a daily basis in terms of Shopify Plus, they're really trying to make that omni-channel push. I want to get into Amazon, Target, retail, right across the board. But you really are missing an opportunity to help serve that customer, as well as to capture data and be able to help them get into your welcome series and different things, right? That's a huge gap that's been a problem for a long time for a lot of e-commerce brands. So with Corso, we've been able to build a QR code registration component or an embeddable registration component where your customers are able to, let's say you're selling at a top outdoor brand or a top outdoor retailer. I've got an example here of a e-moto bike here. Let's say you had a hang tag, you have your QR code scan, register for your warranty or your product promise right from this QR code. And within a couple of questions within the form fill, they're able to upload their proof of purchase, which is something that most brands want to know that the customer did indeed buy from, they did what they said. And then ultimately they're able to also select the retailer that they purchased from. So now this gives you actionable data to know, hey, where are folks registering their products? And that also integrates with Klaviyo. So being able to take the registration, have it be able to flow directly to your Klaviyo, to your welcome series and your segments, and you're really able to capture that 40% that isn't purchasing on your .com, right, on your Shopify. And so this is a massive component. We've got a lot of great brands that are leveraging this today, and I think it's one of the most slept on components in the Shopify ecosystem. And so as part of this, we've made it very fluid, very easy for customers to register their product and then get help when they need it. But yeah, I think that's all I got. But I'm super, super excited to be here again. If anyone has any questions, anything at all, feel free to reach out directly to me or my team in the chat. Our product is no contract, month to month. And essentially what we try to do is generate revenue for your brand. We do a performance-based model. We only take a percentage of what we generate for you, and you get all of the tools that I've shown you today. So it's definitely a component that we're trying to get out to the market. And we're fortunate to work with brands like True Classic, Caraway, Honeylove, some of the best in the space. So by all means, definitely reach out. If you have a question or anything at all, we're here to help.
Thanks so much, Paul. That's really cool. I learned a lot about Corso just in the last 10 minutes. I think that's a really cool idea. I think that's an even cooler pricing model. Lead with value, and it shows confidence that you guys can provide just that. So definitely worth taking a look at for sure. Good stuff. We have our final winner of the day here. Looks like Kyle Noblock will be our winner. You've won a $100 Visa gift card. Thanks, Kyle. Congratulations. Excellent. All right. Well, we have reached the end of our time here together today. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. I just have a few quick parting announcements here. Of course, on August 20th, we're co-hosting another DTCx segment called Conversational AI Summit. It's one of the largest virtual e-commerce events out there. It's going to be a packed session on AI, automation, customer experience. And if you're into this stuff that we covered today, it's probably going to be another one that's right up your alley. So you can scan the QR code here on the right to RSVP. It's free, it's virtual, and it's going to be a good one. Again, thanks so much, everyone, for joining. I want to thank all of our speakers for their fantastic presentations. Please engage with their teams after this webinar. That's how things are done. You've researched, you've learned. Now it's time to put it into action. Congratulations to all of our winners for those special giveaways. We love to see the engagement and the questions coming in. That's why we do this for you guys. And again, make ourselves available afterwards. We'll be sending a follow-up email with the recording after the call. And we're looking forward to seeing you all on the next installment. So thanks again, and have yourself a good rest of your day.